Hi, I'm Steve Pinkerton Stinford, and this is Behind the Reel. Tonight we'll be taking an in-depth look into the world of NATO Comedy. During the early 20-teens, this group could do no wrong, as proved by their meteoric rise to stardom. In fact, you could ask any normal Joe on the street, and they would know about NATO. Such titans of comedy were they.
Sir, when was the first time you heard about NATO, sir?
North Atlantic Treaty Organization?
Nah, man, NATO Comedy.
Never heard of it.
To understand how the spark that would ignite the blaze that was NATO Comedy was started, our film crew sat down with the maverick renegade, and some say genius behind it all, Patrick Humphrey.
So Patrick Humphrey, what can you tell us about the early days of NATO Comedy?
I mean, what is there to say? It's just the four of us sat down at a table and, it's just magic, lightning in a bottle. Ideas start flying around and just boom, in that moment, this is special, this is going somewhere. And, that's how it was born.
Four of you. Weren't there more members at the beginning, like Thomas Wada?
Who?
Thomas Wada. He went to high school with, everybody else. You even knew him forever.
What?
And I heard it wasn't always smooth sailing. I mean, what about Max Perez?
Who?
The guy who invented smog in LA. Without him, there probably wouldn't even be a NATO Comedy.
What?
Matter of fact, weren't you not even there at the beginning?
Get the fuck off my porch!
Tensions between Max Perez and the rest of the members of NATO would reach a crescendo that would boil over into the necessity for legal action.
Hey, it's me again. Yeah, they're back. They're all completely, entirely naked this time. Definitely drunk again. One of them is carrying a couple of 40s. One of them has 40s attached to his hands by duct tape. They're all completely nude. They're shouting at my neighbors, and they're yelling at all the birds in my bird fountain right now. Oh, one of them's drinking inside of the bird fountain now. That's great. That's super great. Yeah, if you could come down, that'd be great.
As tensions continued to mount and the court case over legal rights to the smog in LA loomed nearer, these paragons of comedy, these scions of silly, dispersed in the four winds. However, many theorized that no force on heaven or earth could hold these titans down. We searched high and low to find out what these kings of carnival creation had been up to since NATO disbanded, and this is their story, presented in our new segment, Where Are They Now?, sponsored by Drunk Alert, reminding you to problem drink responsibly. First, we caught up with Mercado, who had taken to the streets in a newfound sense of activism.
So, Mike, I hear that you've become quite the animal rights activist, and you've actually started raising your own goats.
Raising? No. I'm raising goat awareness, man. It's the biggest cover-up in history since, fucking assassination of, Andrew Garfield, Not a lot of people know that, but he died. Yeah, he's a fucking imposter, dude. And but that's not the point. Is the goats are real, and it's fucking a dairy industry. They're pushing their cow product, their cheese, their milk. But there's an alternative out there. There's an alternative that really works. And goats are easy. You can raise them in your backyard. You can marry a goat. You can a goat can be your best friend. You can replace a dog with a goat. And goats are fun. And if you get a big goat, you can ride a goat. You can use goats to pull your car. If alternative energy, like goat feces is actually one of the few biofuels that we can use that has zero carbon footprint. And what I think is really important is that people need to understand that the government is trying to exterminate the goats. It's like the biggest cover-up since the Holocaust. Just 6 million goats just lined up into trains and sent to Auschwitz or Dallas and just gassed and then burned alive.
Mike continued to ramble on in such a way for many hours, but at least he was happy, he was alive, he was passionate. Unfortunately, the same could not be said of Etienne, who was driven mad by the breakup of NATO Comedy. He succumbed to alcoholism, addiction, and autoerotic asphyxiation that would be his demise. Thankfully, due to his sponsor, God, he was back up and on his feet within 3 days. In the days following the breakup of NATO Comedy, Patrick disappeared into the woods and re-emerged a member of the clergy. But is he reaching for divinity or towards sin? Last but not least, our film crew caught up with Nico and Ian, the perfect pendulum of the group, the standard by which all others are judged. So Nico and Ian, what have you been up to since NATO Comedy disbanded?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just working my 9 to 5, living with my fiance. We've been planning our wedding, which is going to be about a year and a half. So, just being an adult, doing the adult thing.
Sounds nice. Have you been working on any side projects in the meantime?
Nothing substantial. I mean, I'm just doing a little bit of writing, but nothing to, write home about. So.
Interesting. Have you heard from any of the guys recently?
No, not really. I mean, I've been seeing what they've been posting online and stuff. I don't know why they're lying to everyone. Okay, I drove past the house the other day, just on my way home. Nothing crazy. And they were drinking 40s on the porch and flipping cars off all day, as far as I could tell. I don't know what the hell they're doing with their lives. I wish we'd like to get back to NATO, but they prefer to drink and, waste their time.
That's disconcerting.
Yeah, I've started doing blow.
Our final fly on the wall segment looks towards the future, and where are they now?
So, you guys want to do NATO again?
Sure, I guess.
Got nothing better to do.
What about those goats?
Well, I was going to include them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, they're not going to fuck themselves, so...
Hey, love themselves.
You never know. I mean,
The
I've
next
seen...
great invention is the self-fucking goat.
Yeah, well, Monsanto's been doing crazy stuff these days.
Do you guys just want to rename it GOAT instead of just...
No.
It could be an
What it look
acronym.
like? Some kind of fucking betrayer?
Can you imagine like
Mike?
an acronym that it's GOAT, but it actually stands for like a phrase? Like we didn't have that with NATO, right?
No.
Like what did NATO stand for? After
I
all?
hate you. GOAT already stands for greatest of all time.
And NATO stands for greatest of all time.
All right. Should we
We
cut?
went
Like,
way past
I
the end, yes.
thought it was
you
always...
should stop watching right now.